We are here today to, as part of the agenda, also to get an update on the subventions. I think there was a meeting the last time where you raised some issues with regards to the subventions. And we would like to hear from you whether the issues of the subvention actually have been resolved in terms of what you requested and what is given to you for at least for now, if the issues are resolved or not. And the second part was also about the SIG. How far with the ministry have they given you up to date, or they are behind still? Where are we exactly as far as the SIG is concerned? So those are the two areas we would like to discuss with you, and then we'll go from there. I'm handing over to DPS.
Good morning, Honorable Chair of the Select Committee.
Yeah, you may want to bring it closer. Yeah.
Good morning, Honorable Chair for the Select Committee and the Honorable Members. I want to begin by thanking you for yet again giving us the opportunity to update you with issues regarding the ministry. My permanent secretary, as I told you in the morning, is all attending another meeting, but I've just informed him that we were called in and he is on his way. With regards to the two issues, SIG and the subvention, we still have some pending requests that are yet to be honored by Minister of Finance. With regards to SIG, honorable members would recall that last year, third term, there was a pending balance for third term, yes, when the Gambia Teachers Union threatened to go on strike, and we engaged the Ministry of Finance. Some $73 million was paid. That covers part of the third term, but left some balance. So as we speak, we have a pending balance of some 14 million for SIG third term. And what we request for first term is $61,320,700. 61 million. So recently we received a cash allocation notice, and 25 million was given against the 61 million that we requested. But as I said, the 14,532,146 is still pending for third term. So third term balance and first term put together is what we would have required in total. But it's just 25 million that we were allocated.
Yes, just to be clear, the third term there's a balance. They paid 73 million, and there's a balance of how much?
14 million.
14 million. Okay.
532.
Okay. That's fine.
146.
Yes, and the first term was 61.320 million, but they only advanced 25 million.
Yes.
So okay, we mean there's a balance for the third term and a balance for the second term. Yes, and okay, and the total is.
So
balances. Yeah, you add the two. We add the two balances, and that will give you what is outstanding.
Yes, if you add the two balances,
yes,
less the 25,
yes,
it will give you a balance of 336 million.
Mm-hmm.
It will give you a balance of 50,852,846. 852,846.
Okay. It means that's the total outstanding now.
Yes,
okay,
total outstanding. Yes.
That's fine.
for first term and the third term balance.
That time, yeah. Okay. When did they pay the 25? Was it, do you know?
This month.
This month?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. They paid the 25 this month. Okay. Okay, all right. So I think that's very clear now as far as the SIG is concerned. So the third term there was outstanding, and there's outstanding on the first term. Okay. So anything else on the SIG? Yes, only SIG. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, I think they also did. I'm not sure. I think last year we were talking about the need to review the SIG in terms of the amount that they pay. Whether, yeah, the unit cost, yeah, because you know prices actually have gone so high that sometimes you can't even tell. So I'm not too sure if you guys have done that already, and there's any discussion with the cabinet along those lines. Because I think the last time it was almost 10 years when it has not changed, almost 10 years. So I don't know whether you have done that already, and yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for not joining you at the start. Actually, I have another meeting at WAEC, but I had to rush to come and attend this one because it's very, very critical. So I had to permit myself to join you. Regards to the update, whether there is a cabinet paper on the proposed review of the SIG. Yes, we worked on it. A cabinet paper has been produced. Now is at the level of the minister to present at the cabinet. So we also did a very comprehensive consultation. All stakeholders are involved and they all had an input in it. So minister is very likely to present that to the cabinet very soon. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Because you know that was also part of our recommendation as a committee when we presented our report the last session. So we said that it needs to be reviewed. So the review is done. Now we wait for cabinet to come up with something, and I'm sure it shouldn't be a big deal because of 10 years is just too long now. So that should be fine. So I think now we are very clear about the SIG now. Okay. Now can we move to the subvented institutions you have under you, like the schools, Amana, etc. Where are we as far as the subventions are?
Okay, thank you very much, Honorable. With regards to, just to wrap up on the SIG, with the amount we require now, if we are to get what we requested, it should also go with, along with augmentation of the budget line. Because as we kept saying, telling this August assembly, mostly what we require, when we request from finance, they can only give us what they think could be within the budget, not what we need according to the data. For instance, the SIG, as we always say, is based on enrollment. So if we do our projections based on enrollment and they eventually give us less, during the course of the year, we would request what we need, and they will definitely come to realize that this is what we need. But at one point, for us to be able to address the problem, it has to go with augmentation of the budget line. So for now, the budget line needs to be augmented by 9.5 million to accommodate what we require.
Yes, and that is for the rest of the year? Okay.
So that is for the subvention. So the SIG.
Okay, the SIG.
Yeah.
Okay. Which means the budget line actually was under budgeted.
Under budget.
So you need about 9.5 million to be able to okay.
What we
Yeah, and I think we discussed this last year. Numbers don't lie.
It's not like you are just estimating out of the blue. You know what you are expecting in this new year. How many students you're going to have, and you multiply them. I mean, there's nothing like ifs and buts about that. These numbers are just straightforward. So maybe we need to be looking at it very closely. Whether they don't trust your numbers, I don't know. But again, you are there. So you know exactly how many you have right now, and the expectation also in the new year. So I don't know why, but this has to be done,
Like, for example, on the fees and handling charges, we budgeted for 129,144,645, and only 86,020,000 was approved. But as of now, we have already spent 125,443,809. Just to show you that numbers don't lie. We budgeted 129, 86 was approved, and already 125 is spent. So you see.
Actually, I'm just coming from WAEC, and the discussion is about their financial statements, and all the blames are directed at government for not paying our areas. And I'm the chairman of that committee. So you could understand how difficult it is to be in that committee when every indication is suggesting that you are not paying what you are supposed to be paying. So again, on numbers, we do share the information with Minister of Finance. We even have a system, that's the IMI system, which collect daily attendance of students. So it's very easy to verify our numbers. It collects information on daily attendance, and this information and this system can even be shared with the password so that people can go into the system to know how many students are attending our classes on a daily basis, including the teachers.
Okay, I think that should be okay. But maybe all members, we need to just remember that during the budget, they need to provide us with those numbers. Like you print it from the system, and we can calculate it on our own. He said, okay, this is the amount that's actually, these are the numbers, and you multiply whatever, 100 as whatever it is, and that's it. So fees and handling the same thing, because these are things that you have to pay. You already know that this is how much you're supposed to pay. So, I mean, if you do that during the COVID year, you have to come and do augmentation. And now the question is going to go to FPAC, as a minister, why are you moving this here? Why? I mean, it's a lot. So I think you just do it once and then you move on. Instead of during the COVID year, you going back and forth, it's just a waste of time. Yes.
As a chairman or members of the select committee, if you are interested, we could even give access to the IMI system where you would be able to interact with the data. So we'd be very happy to do that.
Thank you. As stated by Chair, I think it is clear that the population is growing, and when the population grows, it grows through the young that are enrolled into the school. That's how the population grows. You don't need to convince anybody, but you need to tell them the truth as you always do. Now, the finance must not be convinced, but they need to understand that the population grows from the young, and the young are the people that have been absorbed to the school. When the population grows, it grows from the young. In all cases, in most cases, that's what happens. And if you are requesting for 61 million and you are giving only 21 million, that is seriously 25 million. That is seriously handicapping the schools. And now the schools have resumed. The balance for that time is still pending. Talk less of the balance for post-term that we are in. So now we doubt about performance and the students' work result. All are in doubt for the reason as to why they are not performing. It is clear to all that because of the late disbursement of fund, one, insufficient disbursement of fund as the second thing, and not disbursing or not allocating fund as expected. These are the reason, because if a school is having about 300 students, now each child is supposed to have $100,
If you deny other children, they are 100 as SIG, you handicapping the system. So that is actually what is handicapping our system. And I think this is a concern that the committee should stand with you to support and work it out. Thank you.
Yes, I think we can move to the subvention now. I think the FPAC will make a resolution that all the subvention institutions in each ministry has to be shown line by line. We did that purposely to actually help you. Because what we realized was when they bought it together, they will put 100 million, 200 million, and when we say, oh, this is a lot of money. If you look at line by line, those subvention institutions actually doesn't mean anything. So most of the ministries actually, they have done that now. When you look at Ministry of Finance or Ministry of Health, you see that now they indicate line by line, Bundu Maternal, RVH, Farfetch, whatever. Now they have them line by line, they have the OC and they have the PE. Everything indicated clearly. And in fact, what we realized in the FPAC the last time was, some of them, their PE was completely out from the budget. So we had to work it back in. Yeah. Because otherwise they were going to be under budgeted for. So it was a lot of push and pull, but we did it purposely to ensure that there is a, but when you look at MoBSE, it's still bulked together. So I don't know how quickly you can, debulk it and you indicate this amount, this school, this amount, PEOC, or even PE, and just PE, and that one is going to help us. When you look at it, you say, no, there's somewhere over here. Because if you do your budget, your PE budget, then you can reduce. If your PE budget is 3 million, 5 million, you expect to see 5 million. But if it is 5 million and then you're going to put 2 million, that's not going to work. So that's going to help us, but it's also going to help you more. So I don't know how quickly you can do that also to make it line by line, all of them. I don't know how far you've done with that, yeah.
Actually, that information is available, and I'm sure Minister of Finance also have it. It's just that maybe because we have long list of subvented institutions to accommodate, because all our board schools are subvented, and together with other institutions like WAEC and others. So perhaps that may cause inconvenience in terms of the long list. But I'm sure if they are ready.
Yes, I think, because if you look at Ministry of Health also, they have a lot. Office of OVP also, they have a lot. You see, you have Nana there, you also have Population Secretary there, you have NDMA, they list them. I know that there are no more than 10, I know that, you have more.
No, we have schools over, all these board schools, more than 100, maybe more than 100. Because all our senior secondary schools, majority of our senior secondary schools are.
Okay, then maybe what you're going to do for us then is, during the budget time, list the schools for us, how much the amount that their PE and how much is the OC. And then list in a tabular form, and we can use that from on the back here. And that will be important not only for the here, but also for the FPAC to see. Right. Yeah, because I know if you want to list them, it's going to take another 20, 30 pages, So that will be fine, yeah. All right. So what's the situation now with the subventions?
Honorable, with the subvention, our monthly requirement is 61,675,090 dollars. That's what we require monthly. If you multiply that by 12, so if you multiply that by 12, you will realize that we had a shortfall. And as we say, we said this during the last meeting we had, that as early as January, when the budget book was out, we realized there was a shortfall, and we wrote to finance to that effect. As we speak, based on the monthly requirement, we are able to pay up to October. We'll be able to pay up to October. But November and December will not be paid, because so far our budget balance is $37,078,913. That is the budget balance. And as I said, our monthly requirement is 61 million. So meaning beyond November, beyond October, we cannot pay. And if you multiply that by two months, it means we require 123,350,180 That's
Yes.
what we require for the 2 months. But we did indicate at one point that there was also a shortfall in Amana, which is calculated to 15,678,060 buduls.
How much do you give Amana a month?
Amana,
In fact, while he's checking on the data for Amana,
Yes.
we have a project, the school feeding project on the CRS.
Yeah.
That is intended to reinforce numeracy and literacy at madrasa schools. Because initially they were not very keen in going to the madrasa school, but we literally forced them because we said this is where the problem is. To improve literacy and numeracy at madrasa is critical to the ministry. But what that would require is that we would, because they did that assessment, they went around to some of those madrasas, they realized that there are no English teachers in those schools, English or math teachers. So for you to implement that program, it means the ministry is now required to send extra teachers to some of these madrasas. And that would even come with additional cost. But this is a very important opportunity for us. Well, here is an arrangement that is not only going to feed these children at madrasa schools, but also they are going to support them to improve their literacy and numeracy at that level. So they were collecting baseline in those schools, but they realized that the teachers are not there. So ministry, as a matter of urgency, had to work on quickly send teachers to those schools, whether they are part of our intervention schools or not. So this is even an extra burden on the ministry, which we cannot but have to embrace, because it's an opportunity. If we want to integrate Amana system into our education system, this is an opportunity for us to take. We are not only feeding the kids in those schools, but we are also helping to improve their reading ability and also their numeracy. Thank you.
So there was 2 issues. One, the extra teachers that were needed, and also the feeding program.
The feeding is provided. I mean, they are supporting the
provided. Okay, so the extra teachers that you needed, yeah.
Yes, because they want to reinforce the teaching of English and mathematics in those madrasas. But then the ministry has to provide the teachers.
The teachers, yeah.
Yes.
So what was those extra teachers captured in the budget or was not?
This is not captured. So,
Okay.
But then we will be able to stretch
Okay.
ourselves to it. To
That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is how much is it? 1.3 million.
monthly, we give Amana 9,473,708.
That's for the whole year?
That's what we give them per month.
Per month, okay. Okay.
But we should have been giving them 10 million instead.
Said okay.
10,803,255. There was a monthly shortfall, 1.3 million.
Okay. 1.3 million.
Which has been accumulated.
Yeah.
Multiply that
By 12.
12, it's 15 million,
Exactly.
954.
Yeah, which means the whole year they have a shortfall of almost 15 million.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Thank
if you go back to the overall picture on subvention, as I said, we need 61 million, and this excludes the 1 point, so it should have been 52 something. Monthly.
I see, yeah.
That's what we need. So put that all together, multiply by 2, you will have 120 something million shortfall currently.
For the rest of the year.
Yes, for the rest of the year.
But first they need to do the augmentation, because otherwise
They also need to do the augmentation. The budget balance is 37.
37, yeah. Okay. So that's fine. That's understood. Now with the issue of Amana, do they provide audited accounts to you? Have you ever looked at their audited accounts? With Amana, because if you look at it, they're receiving more than if you look at they're getting close to more than 100 million from the ministry, almost on a yearly basis.
Have you looked at their audited accounts?
Not yet, but I know as a government subvented institution, the national audit has a mandate to go into that institution and then audit them. So we would expect the national audit to include them in their audit list, and if they are audited, they will be required to provide that report with the ministry as well.
Well, the reason why I'm asking, we were here before, because we had a meeting with them in the 5th legislature here, when they were saying that I think we were here on that day, yeah, like the amount of money that been given to them. So when we asked for the audited accounts, it was a whole lot of problem, like as if like we are asking for the moon and the ski. So you are receiving government money, 170 million every year, and you don't want to account for those things. And that's what we do that just to purpose to understand their needs. Because this shortfall you are talking about here, I mean, who's going to pay for the shortfall? They will have to go look for money somewhere. Now, but if you have a clear understanding about how their money is utilized, then we as a committee will be able to stand and defend. They say, you know what, no, you need to do this. So this extra, like last year when we cut the budget, we were able to save 249 million, which we took and give back to various ministries depending on what's really very urgent, like the scholarships open scholarship for higher education, Minister of Health for lab, so a lot of other things. So sometimes also we as a committee, we need to have something that we can use to defend what we want to do. But without proper, it will be difficult for us.
No, honestly, I agree with you, it's important. But as a ministry, what we did is we had a serious engagement with them. Number one, we insisted that every teacher that is going to be paid by this money, the appointment letter, every biodata about that teacher must be provided, including the school it is. And then the salary grade point is also provided. So it is on that number that the budget team at Ministry of Basic was able to calculate how much should be given to them monthly. And beyond that, we also insisted that they work with our record office so that there is a proper record keeping at their secretariat. But we also insisted that they also work with HR so that their human resource management also is properly arranged. So they are working with the 3 institutions. Apart from the budget team, they also work with HR, but then the record team also is working with them so that they have proper filing of all the staff teachers. Because the money that is going there is mainly for salaries and allowance. So we have the list of the teachers that we pay. So we know from our end. But yes, additionally, it's important to have an auditor to go and then audit as well. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. We've actually sent a letter to them to provide the audited accounts. And I do know the Auditor General, there are some gaps in some of the institutions. They have not been going there. Some of them actually, we alerted them as FPAC that have you audited? They say, oh, no, we forgot this one. But they're going to update them on their subsequent plans. Even for Amana, I've sent them a message. They're yet to respond. I don't know. But I know for FPAC or this committee, we've never seen their audited accounts. And it's important that we know, so that we can actually assist them in case they have a need. So, but it's a good start that you are working with them to get the HR part correct. Because once you get the HR part, you'll be able to get the records that, okay, this is what they have, and that this is the amount of money. Again, these are numbers that you need to be able to defend. Yeah. Thank you. So we'll wait for them to respond. Or you can tell them to respond because they are quiet. They have not responded. So I don't know. But we'll find out. And in fact, if they have issues, for me, I think they should come to the ministry and tell you, we have these issues. And then you can help them with the Auditor General to prepare all these things for them. If there's a capacity issue, the ministry will be able to help them or the Auditor General. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, we'll take it from there with them.
So I think sometimes issue of communication. Initially, I think there was a bit of push and pull between Amana and the ministry. But eventually, when we start with them, they understood that the ministry is trying to help them instead of because initially it was a bit of an emotional but you see, when we had a meeting with them, even with the Parliament, exactly. It was kind of there's a fight. I said, no. We are trying to help you. We are trying to understand what has happened, Yes. But now they are appreciating it, definitely.
That's excellent.
They are willing to work with it.
That's very good.
Thank you.
That's good. All right. So I think what happened, in fact, they wrote a letter about the shortfall you are talking about 1.2 million or so monthly, yeah. So also we request, okay, can we have your auditor accounts so that we can
understand what you're trying to say. So let's see how they will respond, and then we can take it from there. Because again, if you have a shortfall, the people have to be paid, in any way. They have to be paid, but we'll work together, and then see what we can do. Yes, honorable members, anything here?
I just want to make a little request, if it is possible, like all these breakdowns, if we can have it on a piece of paper so that it can serve to the committee, to furnish us, because sometimes, as we go, we miss some points. So these figures, if we can put them on paper, then furnish with us. Thank you.
I think that's a good idea. So you give us a summary, for example, the shortfall you're talking about from the Amana side, the subventions, and the SIG, what is actually. So we may have it maybe one page or so. I think that suffices for us. Yeah, like you clearly indicate third term this was outstanding, first term this is advanced, this is outstanding, and the dates they were paid. We need to know the dates. Yeah.
Honorable, if you be able to do that.
Where do you like it?
Yes. Okay, you have the email. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Okay, hold on. Let's go down far before we come to you. Yes, down.
In fact, our worry was our last meeting. It was, if my memory can serve me well, you did say that there will be no money for subvented institutions in this month. But I think you've clearly mentioned that they have already put some money. I think the same thing can happen. Yeah, I think the same thing can happen in the November and the December, because during our last meeting, I think it was last week, that you said that there will be no salaries for them or money for them. But fortunately, you came and then again said they've paid an amount. So this can continue in the November and December as well. So I don't know.
So it's possible they could, but we always raise the flag, especially when the budget balance is cannot even. Sometimes, it's one thing to send us the money, but it's another thing to be able to use the budget balance to effect that payment. Because if the budget balance is not adequate or augmented, even when they have allocated the money, you cannot still not process it. So when the budget balance is low, we'll always have that fear that the money will not even come in the first place, because as finance, they always look at your budget balance before they even send money. So we are even surprised that they're able to send money with a low budget balance. That's why we raise the flag. But now we have to work with them so that they also augment to be able to correspond with the cash allocation.
I think it's better you
Again, Honorable, as a sector, we know it is volatile. We never wait for things to happen. When you see it coming, you react, and that is why. And payment of salary takes time. It's a process. If you wait until the last day, even if the funds are transferred, you cannot pay immediately. It is salary is very sensitive. But I don't know if we've exhausted the discussion. We have other issues.
No. There is something I want to add. When you're giving us those information, if you look at your programs, each of the programs there is some subventions, PE and OOC. So you give us a list. For example, if you look at the program, first program on the strategy management, the subvented, you tell us exactly who are subvented and the amount, because we want to link it with what is there and what is required. With the gap. So give us that information also for our own consumption, so that the next time we meet with finance, we'll be able to clearly indicate, show them these things there. Because the subvented things, these are non-negotiable, because you have to pay. Fees and stuff, you have to, yeah.
So let's have that. In each of the programs, you tell us exactly the areas, the institutions you are subventing, and then we go from there. Yeah. All right. Yes. You had a question.
Yeah, I just have a suggestion to make. I mean, two suggestions actually. That is, you talk about the schools. It's going to be very neat if each school's allocation or subvention is spelled out, as we have rightly said, so that we can be able to know. Now, what I was suggesting is schools of the same category can be put as one. Let's say 12 schools of this category would amount to this.
Yeah, but let's have the names. Let the names be direct. No, let us provide the names. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Another thing is also with this problem that happened last time with this SIG, and teachers threatened to go on strike. I just want to say that, you know, with teachers and money, we all know, it's important that, you know, when you know that this is to happen, all the time you should be having a bird's eye view of what is coming in as SIG, what is coming in as allowances, what is coming in as house rent, so that, you know, you will not come to a point whereby the time that they should have it surpasses. So I'm just saying that I'm just making a suggestion that the ministry should actually not wait for the 11th hour to, you know, start to run helter-skelter. I don't know. That's my opinion.
That's fine. That's okay. Yes, and I think maybe the ministry also you can put more efforts in ensuring the schools also they're accountable as well. Because I know I think when he called me about this issue, even before he went on the media, he called. So I called the Minister of Finance and then the PS. I went back and forth with them until they sent me an audit thing. I went through it. It wasn't really a very, very solid reason to withhold everything. You know, at worst, you could have maybe withheld those schools that actually have some issues. And then you give out 95 or 98% of the money. They could have been managed. But just because of the issue of few schools, you want to withhold everything. For me, it wasn't really a very, very good reason. But at the end of the day, you know, they resolved by paying about 73 million, which was fine. But I think let's also ensure that we put another alert through the regional offices also, just to ensure that the schools are doing the right thing. In fact, some of them, according to the report, it's kind of like they don't know how to account for these things, which I'm not sure. But I think we need to have an extra layer to ensure that they understand really how to account for each penny that they spend. Thank you.
The work is solidarity.
If I can comment on that. Yes, so thank you. In fact, 2 days back, we even had a presentation. We even had a presentation with the Minister of Finance. It was an oversight. We will have invited you because that's a very important occasion for you to also see what mechanism you are putting in place to actually monitor the implementation of SIG in schools. We have a whole system in Region 2 that will track every transaction as far as SIG is concerned, from the office of the regional director up all the way to my office, because I'm also able to, using the system, I'm also able to see how much money is being disbursed to each school. So we have that system, and it has been implemented in Region 2. What we agree with Ministry of Finance, because when we presented the tool to the representative of Ministry of Finance, they were all definitely fascinated that we have such a system operating at Region 2. We concluded by saying, if you want us to be able to roll this out to other regions, since we are all concerned about monitoring how these monies are spent in schools, we will need to make a request so that this system is rolled out. And we agreed that we are going to do that. But knowing Minister of Finance, we will do the request, but I doubt if their funding will come for us to be able to spread that. And again, that monitoring is emphasized here. And I think it's a very, very important tool that we need to have in all our schools so that we are able to track every transaction of SIG in schools.
And that's how much were you requesting for that?
How much?
Is it up to 5 million?
No. Just little about 1 million.
I mean, exactly. You know,
in our IT industry, we say a 1% investment in IT gives a result of 10%. So it makes a lot of sense. You are talking about these SIG things. You are dealing with close to almost, now you are getting close to 200 million. That's where you're going to. So to spend $2 million, $3 million to be able to account for, I mean, for me, I just close my eyes and sign and say, go do it, you know. But get me the figure, amount, you can send it by WhatsApp, then we will call them. Because for me, it's actually helped to improve accountability. And anything that's going to help us to increase accountability in the public finance, I think for me, I'm in for it. So let's get the figure, and then we can consult with them to see how best they can quickly do that, so that you can roll it out in other places, so that the issue of accountability in this SIG would be improved. Yeah.
Okay, so concerning the SIG, what I realized when I was a teacher in the school, sometimes there is an inflation rule, the school rule, and then sometimes there is a decline. But I realized in my school for 2 years, the same amount as was coming. For example, when it's 100, let's say $50 is, so the same $50 will be coming. And then sometimes the inflation will come and then sometimes decline in the rule. So I don't know whether you are making any update on that.
Are you talking about the numbers, or you mean the enrollment number? Yes, so the role of the school, because there is tendency of teachers inflating the numbers sometimes because of the advantage of you getting more money. We always have a standard. At some point, the planning team goes and they collect the data, so we stick to that data until there is another verification when the numbers will be able to change based on the latest version of the numbers. But we also use the not absenteeism to also determine, because that also is a factor to also not to deter teachers from withdrawing their students from doing the NAT exam. So this is why for the second term SIG, we split into two, the first 15% and the second 15%. So the first 15% is paid. The second 15% is not paid immediately, but it waits for the outcome of the NAT attendance. So those are all means of verifying different schools so that they don't inflate the figures when they are giving us the numbers. But we have means of verifying the numbers at any time. But now, going forward, our system is even more improved to the extent that we have a system that is even taking real-time data of enrollment in schools. So that system at the planning is even going to help to be able to determine the numbers at any given time. So I think that problem is going to be a history.
I think that is why schools are giving the mobile phones so that they can be sending data every day, attendance. Yeah.
You see, don't underrate MoBSE. They were also headmasters before, and some were students. They know. Yeah, but you see the strategy they're using. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, PS. Now, one more thing we request, because we are coming into the budget session, and you need to arm us as the committee responsible. For me, overall, when you look at MoBSE, the areas of issues that have issues, subventions, the SIG, the contribution to international organizations, the school feeding program, the school bus. These are perennial issues. So what I want is you give us real numbers where we'll be able to see exactly the real issues, so that when we come here as a committee, you may add something more, but for me, these are the 5 things I think are perennial issues all the time. So if we're able to get figures, particularly these are the these numbers cannot lie anyway. So that will be able to help the committee to be able to put up a very good fight and put up a very good defense. The good thing about it also, because I'm also in FPAR, I'm the vice chair of the finance committee. So that's also going to help me as well. So give us the ammunition and we'll go do the fight. That's all we're asking for, yeah.
And Chair, to add to that, learning material also, I think most of the schools we visited, they complain about learning material. And if they are giving us information as to what you have just said, I think learning material also will be very important, because those are very key things.
Anything else you want to add here?
No, I'm just trying to respond to that request. Like for a start, we promise that we will link it to our system. I think that's important, that you interact with that system. So that will give you the daily update on our numbers. Number two, we've agreed to have a retreat with this team, and the plans are also very much at advanced stage. So we will definitely communicate with you, and I think that will be an opportunity to have an open interaction so that everything about MoBSE is discussed in terms of our challenges, in terms of our program, and every plan that we have. But beyond that also, as a matter of update, we are reviewing our policies, our current policy, and I'm sure at some point we have to have a session with you to look at that policy, especially in light of the current challenge of quality issue. So how do we address the issue of quality? And that interaction definitely is something that we are going to also have with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, you have something, Damva? Yes, because we have a lot of runaway school teachers here. In fact, 80 to 90% of the committee members are runaway school teachers. So I think the senior man is there. Okay, Susan. Okay, yes, go ahead, Damva. The total package you were saying about 8.8 million or something like that. Okay, that's fine. You have something? No. Okay. Now, if we don't have anything else for MoBSE, we can release them, and then we're going to continue our meeting, so that they can go and continue their work also. Let's see. So the maintenance is going to be based on, you provided with the list last year, list of the schools that actually affected, and yeah. No, I have. They gave us. Yeah, because I have here 2021 storm damage schools in red 6. School facility amount. Is it not that document? You updated. Let's have the updated one then, yeah. Yeah, because this one actually, the total amount was about 8.8 million. So if you have an updated one, give us the updated one, yeah. Because this is 2021. All right. Now, so in the absence of any other business, then we'll release them, and then we continue. Honorable Sir, welcome. No, we have the fine. I'll tell you when they leave. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. Thank you. Did Kepa sign?